Japan education. Basic background. Japan, an Asian country, occupied an area of 378,000 square kilometers, 66% of the country covered by trees. Japan has a very large population, and Japanese are very short and slim. Japan is very crowded. It's the top 3 in the world population density. Japanese is very famous of their longevity. Their life expectancy ranking is the number 1 in the world. Japanese culture is very unique and has a very long history. Most famous magazine product is manga. They know how to protect their environment. Most of the Japanese cars sold in Japan are environmental friendly models. And Japan is the 3rd ranking of the number of rail passengers in the world. So many people they commute by train every day. Japan is also a technology-oriented community. 4 out of 5 people have their own technology devices. Japanese people are very proud to show the world the Japanese spirit of don't waste. Japanese are believing that they are creating a much richer society and better cities in the world. Education system. The education system basically consists of 6 years of elementary school, 3 years of junior, 3 years of senior high school, 4 years of university, or 2 years of college. Facts about the education system. Japan takes the education of its citizens very seriously. Japan is one of the world's best educated countries with 100% enrollment in mandatory grades, which is a time period of 9 years consisted of elementary school and junior high school and 0 illiteracy. Even though high school is not compulsory, the enrollment is over 96% nationwide and nearly 100% in the cities, and nearly 46% of all high school graduates go on to university or junior college. The school year. Most schools in Japan start their school year in April and end in March of the following year. They find it is very convenient doing this because April is the height of spring when cherry blossom, the Japanese favorite flower, bloom, and it is considered the most appropriate time for the new beginning. Disadvantages of the school year. These differences in the school year system could be a big inconvenience for foreign students who want to study in Japan. Sometimes students lose half of a year waiting to enroll, and other times they have to repeat a year if they want to come back to the Japanese university. The school day. With the exception of the lower grades of elementary school, Japanese students go to school for 10 hours a day on weekdays, which is the longest school day in the world. At home, students are working with drills and other homework in order for them to be busy. School vacation in Japan. Japanese students go on vacation just for 10 weeks in the year, 6 weeks in the summer, 2 weeks in the winter, 2 weeks in the spring breaks. Therefore, Chinese students spend 240 days a year at school, 60 days more than their American counterparts. They often do homework over these vacations. Success. Now, let's talk about the Japanese education success. I will introduce 4 aspects of the Japanese education success. The first one, emphasis on the teamwork training. Secondly, the self-control and management ability training. The third one, the technology education reform. And the last one is emphasis on the science and practice. To compare with China's education system, they have more activities in the school, not only for their physical class, but also for their activities to help the students establish their teamwork spirit and cooperation. The teachers in the school encourage their students to clean and arrange stuff by students. This kind of practice can enhance students' self-control and self-management abilities. Some Chinese researchers has did the research shows that the self-arrange and self-management can enhance students' study ability in their daily life. The class activities are quite similar with Chinese education system, and since the history impact, students need to stand up before and after the class to show the respect of the teacher. But compared with Chinese school, the Japanese school's class activities is more student-centered, active, and interactive. The teacher encourages students to express their own opinions rather than only learn and recite from the textbooks. Even though the rules and the learning environment is still a little serious and rigid during the class, but Japanese educators are willing to reform their teaching method to engage students and make the class content more fun. The technology of the education reform of the elementary school, junior school, and high school education was suggested in the 1985. The meeting asserted that Japanese education needs to reform and the technology is the most important part. Until 2003, the computer teaching covered 100% Japanese school. The internet access rate is 80%. In 2001, Japan government proposed e-Japan reform strategy. Contrast to China and America, the most successful technology uses in Japan education system is the video conferencing system. The research data of NIME shows that in Japan, the 4-year university, 2-year college, and high schools, the video conferencing system is used widely. In 2002, 90% of high school, 69% of 4-year university, and 40% of 2-year college are using video conference to conduct the teaching, research, and management activities in the school. Not only American but also Japanese government is emphasis on the technology and the science and the math education parts in their elementary school and junior school and high school. To contrast with China, the Chinese education of the science and technology is more based on the textbooks and the writing materials and writing research papers. But Japan schools has their own pace of the practice. They can practice all the experiments to show the theories and to help the student understand the concepts. It's more accessible and it can engage students more efficiently. Challenge. Even though Japan education gained very amazing and proud success, it still contains many challenges from the history to nowadays. A person would suffer a lot of pain and hard work from the kindergarten to the university. Because of the large population and high competition among the students, the Japanese students are under an unbelievable pressure. As I mentioned in the introduction part, the students in grade 1 at least have 7 classes a day and 240 school days a year. The longest learning time forces students to gain at least 880 words in the first year of the elementary school and over 1,000 words by 6th grade. Every school needs to change a student's seat every month due to their exam score. The higher score students sit in the front and the last one sits in the back of the classroom. This unfair arrangement make a lot of Japanese students in a deep pressure and a miserable school time. This kind of action raises jealous, selfish, and unfriendly morality issues. And also, their parents are under the big pressure. These big pressures also triggered a very big social issue about the suicide and the family violence. The suicide rate of the young person in Japan is ranking number 1 in the world. The biggest challenge is the exam system in Japan. The students need to study hard, play and relax less, in and after school to gain the higher exam score to get a chance to enter a better university. Not like American students, they have travel time, exploration time, and family time. The Japanese students keep studying during their K-12 period, and this learning environment encouraged a lot of kinds of exam preparation centers came out. These centers use their effective exam preparation method to earn much money. The students' family are also suffering a heavy burden from the high tuition. From the latest data, Japan now has at least 70,000 exam preparation centers, and over 90% students are having after-school study in the centers 4 days a week. In this way, the study of the Japanese students is lack of creativity. To contrast with Americans' education, the imagination, innovation, and exploration is not fully developed in the curriculum design and school education goal sets. Debates. Yes, there are many problems, and yes, there are many proposed solutions out there. We should see the high level of Japan's education system. We also should calmly accept the negative issues identified and try to find solutions and implement measures to address the problems. At the same time, continuing research is required in order to maintain the current level of the education system and to employ knowledge and skills to the benefit of society. I believe that it is time for Japan, as the world's front runner in education, to create a new education model matching the needs of future society.